All right.
Hello and welcome into Trustmark Arena here on the campus of the University of Montevallo. I'm Wyatt Hall alongside my partner Alex Tejada. Tonight the Montevallo Falcons will take on the Georgia College Bobcats to start off Peach Belt Conference play this season. This is a very young but talented Montevallo Falcons team. Alex, what do we have to look forward to tonight?
Well, we can look forward to returning starters Christy Bohan and Chandler Cooper with a lot of kills in the front court. They have 143 and 81 kills, respectively. Also interesting is the newcomers into this lineup, Nicolette Feisinger and Shannon Dudley. Look for them to have a huge impact in their first conference game.
All right, we'll be right back after this. welcome back in here to Trustmark Arena. I'm Wyatt Hall alongside Alex Stott. I can't do that echo, dude. I can't do it. Dude, I cannot do that. I cannot talk. We need to go tell them that. Tonight, the mono. I can't do it.
For the Falcons, the starting lineup, number 2, Michaela Henderson, 4, Grace Harris, 5, Hannah Christie, 7, Nicolette Feisinger, 11, Bree Bloom, 24, Shannon Dudley, and 26, Christy Bohan. For the visiting Bobcats, starting lineup, number 2, Maggie Roper, 3, Kayla Brockway, 7, Ebony Powers, 9, Danielle Drummond, 6, Taylor Svela, 19, Ashley Savransky, and 20, Chandler Ewaldson. As they get set for first serve, Nicolette Feisinger back. And the Falcons take the opening point. Bree Bloom with a fantastic smash for the first kill. Feisinger's serve over the top is met by Powers. First point for the Bobcats sends Ebony Powers back to serve.
Hannah Christie on the set. Bree Bloom's kill goes off the hands of the Bobcat defender, number 20, Chandler Elwitson, the libero.
And that's a quick 2 kills in quick succession. Fantastic start for Bree Bloom. She really is the emotional leader of this team. Got everybody pumped up in the win against Clark Atlanta.
A soft touch there. Goes between 4 Falcon defenders and hits the ground for a point. 2-2 now. And Elwison will go back to serve. The junior from Savannah, Georgia.
Interesting that Michaela Henderson started, and after 3 points, they've made a substitution. Chandler Cooper normally starts in that position, has slid back in.
And that attempted kill goes out of bounds. Point for Montevallo, retaking the lead 3-2 as Grace Harris, the libero, will come off. Bohan serve goes for a service ace. 4-2 now. 2-point lead for the Falcons.
And we mentioned Christy Bohan's game really evolving. That's just one of the many categories in which she's improved.
She didn't even serve her freshman year, and then last year she started to do it, and then this year gets an ace there. Point for Montevallo there. Christy Bohan will continue to serve. 5-2 now lead for Montevallo. Bohan serve. Dig there by Bree Bloom. Sends it for Chandler Cooper, who gets blocked. And Bohan sends it back over. And a missed hit there by Taylor Sevilla, the leading Bobcat in kills with 63 on the season.
Yeah, great defense there by Chandler Cooper and Nicolette Feisinger, and a miss by the freshman Taylor Svela. She's been averaging 3 kills per set, but misses that one.
And Hannah Christie bumps that one up for Bohan, but she sends it into the net, trying to get a soft touch. Lindsay Holmes comes in now for the Bobcats, and she is serving. Bree Bloom gets that one. Cross court to Chandler Cooper. Ball kept alive. Christy Cooper, and that hits the ground for a point. 7-3 now.
We mentioned last game how much more controlled the kill of Chandler Cooper has been. You saw there, doesn't lack any power, but a lot more accuracy.
And that's what she's been known for, her power. She's been able to control it, which has allowed her to do so well so far this season. And that hit goes out of bounds. Another point for Montevallo. 5-point lead now.
And an experienced player, Maggie Roper, number 2 on the Bobcats, however, hasn't gotten much playing time in the opening 6 matches, so it looks she's a little rusty. That's the second one she's missed down this right-hand side.
Cervela. What a dig there by Simone Maxwell, who came into the game. Christie gets that one. Bloom sends it over. Grace Harris over to Christy Cooper. And Cervela stumbles but is able to get the ball over. Falcons send it back, however. And that one gets past Bloom for a point, 8-4.
It's good passing movement, however, for the Falcons. Just a little unfortunate there on a couple points. They were scrambling and had to send it over. It set up a great opportunity, and the Bobcats took advantage.
Maggie Roper's serve. Simone Maxwell gets blocked there. Cooper again on the left side. And Anna Christie sends that one out of bounds. So now just a 3-point lead for Montevallo. Maggie Roper still back there serving, the junior from Beaufort, Georgia.
It's a great start from the Falcons, but they better watch it because the Bobcats can get on a roll, and they've swept teams doing this.
Harris, Hannah Christie Cooper. Well, if they keep doing that, then they have a good shot at winning. Cooper's had several opportunities there on that left side to get points. 9-5 now the lead.
Yeah, last game Cooper notched up 10 kills despite only playing 2 sets. So she had an impressive game.
Michaela Henderson has come back into the game for the Falcons and was the server on that last play. 10-5 the lead for Montevallo as we got a timeout taken by Coach Crumditch of the Bobcats. Alex, so far, what do you see here from Christy Bohan and Chandler Cooper?
Well, so far they haven't really gotten into the game yet. Chandler Cooper more so than Christy Bohan, but I've liked the passing movement. They stayed very organized against Clark Atlanta and never faltered. Even when Clark Atlanta went on small runs, they were always in the game, control of it, and that's what they're looking for today. They don't want Georgia's College to get into the match because, like we mentioned, they have Roper and Brockway, players that are hitting high percentages as far as their hitting. The Falcons, however, have the advantage as far as teamwork. These girls have played together despite not starting a lot of them. Some of them coming in have been on the team for a couple years, so the starting lineup really knows each other. The passing movement, the organization is a lot better on the Falcon side.
And there's a lot of rotation, a lot of substitution, so you get fresh legs in there. We've seen several so far. Simone Maxwell has come in and played an important role. We'll continue to see that here as this game progresses. Michaela Henderson, the freshman, still back there serving for Montevallo.
Falcons need to be wary of Kayla Brockway. She hits .356.
Point there for Ebony Powers. Natalie Twyford sort of mishit that one, which gave Powers an opportunity for a point. 10-6, Montevallo still leads. Simone Maxwell. Shannon Dudley sends that one over. Point for Montevallo.
Good judgment there from Grace Harris, letting it go out of bounds. She goes back to serve.
And Shannon Dudley will come out for a second. Christie sends that one up. Twyford. Ebony Powers. Christy Bohan. Here's Bohan. Out of bounds, but saved by the Bobcats and hit into the net. We've seen several rallies here. That one, in the last one, so if this game continues like this set is so far, we should be in for an exciting matchup. 6-point lead for the Falcons.
Yeah, surprising we're seeing so many digs. However, with 5 players over 50 digs, this Falcons back line is very stacked.
Michaela Henderson goes flying to try and dig that ball, but comes up short. Just a 5-point lead now for Montevallo. Kayla Brockway back to serve. Christy Bohan, and that's the play they've been working on. Hannah Christie sends it behind her back to a crashing Christy Bohan for the point. What a great play. 13-7 now, the lead.
Yeah, that slide to the right side behind a player is Christy Bohan's signature move. And we saw in the last one when she was hitting from the middle, they got a dig and kept it alive. That time it's unstoppable.
Twyford knocks that one over for a point. 14-7 now, doubling the Bobcat score. Nicolette Feisinger back to serve. Solo block there is picked back up. What an effort there by Hannah Christie, but goes out of bounds. Bobcat point. Ebony Powers is your server.
Good momentum and energy from the Falcons, however, going forward. When they lose a point, they look to rally and they get the point back immediately. We mentioned this team features in a lot of 5-setters. They're 3-2 in opening matches when it goes to 5 sets. A lot of resilience in this team. They had to learn the hard way in the opening game by being on the wrong side of that 3-2 score. But they've fought back and gotten themselves to a 5-3 record, and they look to be improving. Despite all the new faces.
Right.
Exactly.
And they're young, but they play together. They practice together a lot. A lot of these players were on this team last year as the Falcons get another point here, extending their lead. We have some substitutions. Bree Bloom and Chandler Cooper are going to come back in for Natalie Twyford and Michaela Henderson.
And Bree Marquez was full of praise, the departing senior last year, for the girl serving right now, Bree Bloom.
Feisinger chases that one out of bounds. Cannot get there, 15-9. When we talk about the absence of Bree Marquez, but Hannah Christie has filled in that role very well. 297 assists this season, which is actually more than the total for Georgia College's team.
Yeah, she's had a fantastic start to the season, and despite playing a couple more games, so, you know, those numbers may be skewed, she really has been the focal point for almost all of the Falcons' attacks and looks to be continue to do so again here today.
That one gets inside there. 5-point lead for Montevallo. Libero Chandler Edwison serving for the Bobcats.
It's a very deceptive kill there from Brockway. It looked like it was going long, and it just died in that backcourt.
Christy Bohan. What a great play. You know they work on that. Those three players, Bloom, Hannah Christie, and Christy Bohan.
And it all started, however, with a very weak serve from Chandler Ewaldson. It came up, and it was almost inviting for Bree Bloom.
16-10, the lead now. Maggie Roper gets that one to fall in bounds, cutting the lead back to 5.
And that's the other side of that dynamic duo going forward for the Bobcats. Roper and Brockway. It looks like Roper's finally getting on the kill sheet.
Cooper sends this one over. Digged by Edwardson. Bree Bloom makes a diving save, and Grace Harris will send it back over the net. Great effort there. Chandler Cooper into the stands. Falling down goes Lindsey Holmes to save that one, and the ball is still alive. What a play. And then Cooper sends that one out of bounds. How about a play from Lindsey Holmes? Actually took a step into the stands to save that ball, and they eventually won that point, cutting the lead down to 4. And Coach O'Brien is going to take a timeout. What a rally that was.
Yeah, it was fantastic. You saw the good things and the bad things of both Falcons. Nicolette Feisinger tried to keep a ball alive that was going behind her. She should have left that for Bree Bloom, but a fantastic save by Grace Harris. Those three have formed a chemistry in that backcourt. As well, we saw power from Chandler Cooper, but Lindsey Holmes kept it alive. And unfortunately, the second effort was a little long, and it was kind of her old habit of just blasting it out.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's the life of playing on the being an outside hitter.
You're always trying to hit it as hard as you can where no one can get there. I've been impressed so far with this young Montevallo team. I mean, we see the broken plays there that they could have done better at. I mean, like you said, Feisinger getting out of the way and letting Bree Bloom get that, but you got to give them credit. I mean, there's not a ton of experience out there, and they're doing a good job.
Yeah, and the other impressive thing is the fact the other night they used all of their players, and never at one point in the game did they look like they hadn't played well together. However, that was the first time a lot of them had played together in the game. So the team chemistry and the organization that Coach O'Brien has brought to this team is fantastic.
And then, I mean, this impressive stat of 5 players with more than 50 digs is really impressive as well, and it speaks to not being a one-man team. I mean, we talk about Christy Bohan, but everyone is so important here on the court. Chandler Cooper pops that one over the net. Roper. Little poke set there from Christy. Shannon Dudley gets a kill there. Goes off of the Bobcat defender. And Simone Maxwell will come back into the game for Nicolette Feisinger. Hannah Christie is back to serve with the 5-point lead.
And Simone Maxwell has 32 kills on the season, so she's definitely a dangerous option off the bench in the front court.
And a miss hit there from Bloom. Bobcats are within 4. And a service error there by the Bobcats as Maggie Roper hits that one into the net. 5-point lead now.
You can tell the frustration there from Maggie Roper. They haven't exactly been at their best, however, Georgia College.
And some substitutions for the Falcons. Michaela Henderson comes back in, as well as Natalie Twyford. Chandler Cooper and Bree Bloom will take a break. Henderson serve. Tipped at the front line. Dudley miss hits that one. 4-point lead. 18-14 here in the first set.
And I've noticed in the later stages of this game, Lindsey Holmes, in addition to that fantastic dig, has really foiled a lot of the Falcons' attackers in the front court. She's made some fantastic digs, which has kept out Bohan and Dudley.
And a service error there again gives Montevallo the 5-point lead. Grace Harris back to serve. This one popped over. Twyford gets it. Bohan. Ebony Powers gets blocked at the net. A team block there from Simone Maxwell and Christy Bohan. Getting in the face of Ebony Powers. 6-point lead now. Another block, it's kept alive. Christy Bohan sends that one in to Lindsey Holmes. What a great set there from Hannah Christie as she was able to run under and not cross over the line, but able to set that ball up to the powerful Christy Bohan. And you can ask Lindsey Holmes about that one.
Yeah, Lindsey Holmes has been impressive so far, but there was no returning that one from Christy Bohan.
21-14, now the lead here.
Like how the Falcons have responded these last couple points.
And they got caught jumbled up there in the front part of the court, and Michaela Henderson was unable to make a play on the ball. 6-point lead.
Be interesting to see with the game switching back and forth, the momentum real fast, if the Falcons can keep their nerve and see out this first set.
Simone Maxwell on the right side. Gets tipped at the net, goes out of bounds. Excuse me, did not get tipped. The net tipped the ball. 21-16 the lead for Montevallo. Here's Christy Bohan, the signature play. Another assist for Hannah Christie as well.
That time from a very tight angle.
22-16 the lead. Simone Maxwell will come out.
That's a little something different there. Hannah Christie with an unorthodox hit over the top. It landed for a point.
23-16. A soft touch there from the Bobcats. Bohan gets it back, but it's blocked at the net. Twyford blocked, but gets it back. And then Hannah Christie sends it over. Ebony Powers. Bohan, soft touch. Picked up by Edwardson. Christy Bohan again. Twyford. And a nice play there at the net by Danielle Drummond, the 6'1" senior from Cumming, Georgia.
It was a sequence of fantastic plays by Danielle Drummond. And the Bobcats look a lot like last year's Montevallo size. They lack a lot in height. Danielle Drummond, the tallest player.
And a miss hit there by Edwardson. Set point here for the Falcons as Chandler Cooper and Bree Bloom will come in for Henderson and Twyford. 24-17. And Bloom will look to finish this off. Dig by Powers. Drummond blocked at the net. Bohan able to keep it alive. Cooper. Send back over Bree Bloom. Hannah Christie. Christy Bohan. But that one goes out of bounds. The tight window for Bohan to get that one inbounds and cannot execute it. 24-18 the score.
That would have been a very appropriate way to end the set, however, just a little bit wide.
Here's Edwardson's serve. Hannah Christie. And I thought that she was about to send it backwards to Christy Bohan, but she fakes everyone out there and sends it over herself to get the set point. So Montevallo starts off here 1-0, 25-18 in that first set victory. They will switch courts and we'll play game number 2. We'll be right back after these messages.
How did we become painted with just one brush? Time's forever moving forward. We can't rush. Now tell me why somebody even want to choose a college. I know you don't want to leave with just book knowledge. We don't sell an institution but an attitude. Other schools don't understand. They on a different latitude. You don't want to get caught up in that sea of sameness when we perfectly unique. Yeah, we looking blameless. So get up out your seats. Get louder, louder. We chose Montevallo when we couldn't be prouder.
Play set number 2. Some stats from that first set. Christy Bohan, 5 kills. And Hannah Christie, 10 assists for Montevallo. Ebony Powers and Maggie Roper with 3 kills each for the Bobcats. And Kayla Brockway has 7 assists.
What was interesting in the timeout between the sets, it looked like Georgia College were the winning team. They weren't, getting down on themselves after losing that opening set. They seemed very jovial, lighthearted. On the other side, Katie O'Brien was getting at her team, maybe just trying to tell them to stay focused. There were some mistakes, but overall, the organization was fantastic from this young team.
And that just speaks to the coaching mindset and attitude of Coach Katie O'Brien. 1-0 lead here for Montevallo. Chandler Cooper pops that one up. Savela finally gets a good opportunity and a kill, tying the game up at 1 here in set number 2.
And the only other 6-footer on this team, freshman Taylor Savela, finally getting going.
And she didn't have anything going there in that first set. Only 1 kill on 6 attempts, being the kill leader for this team on the season with 63. Point there for Montevallo, 2-1 lead.
Especially for a player that averages 3 kills per set, it was very uncharacteristic.
And another kind of missed, broken play hit into Chandler Cooper. Really wasn't expecting it. Point for the Bobcats, tying the game at 2. Savela's serve. Chandler Cooper gets that one to fall. Point for Montevallo.
That was a fantastic response by Cooper. She was out of position on that last point, and now with the cross-court winner.
Cooper very dangerous when she runs to that right side like she just did. Hannah Christie back to serve. Ebony Powers tipped at the line. Christie saves it. Harris sends it over. And the attempted kill there by Blake Willoughby sent wide. Point Montevallo, extending their lead to 2 here in the second set. Hannah Christie still serving. Simone Maxwell popped up by Edwardson. Ebony Powers sends it back over. Harris on the dig. Shannon Dudley, what a powerful kill there, and great set again from Hannah Christie. 5-2 now the lead.
That was fantastic. That showcases her height and the advantage it brings. She didn't really have to jump hardly and just smashed it right down at the floor between the 2 lines.
Uncharacteristic error there by Christie. Sends that one into the net. 5-3, Montevallo still leading.
Well, Hannah Christie, a player that's been on this team for several years, didn't get that much playing time last year in the starting lineup this year. Looks to have, gotten in with the rotation, starting to look more organized, rarely gets caught out of position, and that's probably why she's had so many assists and been the focal point of all the attacks.
And a miss hit there again by the Bobcats. 6-3, Montevallo lead. And part of the reason why she didn't play much until this year is because she had Bree Marquez, over 3,000 assists in her career here at Montevallo, playing in front of her. Michaela Henderson. Willoughby blocked at the net. Bloom gets a piece of Willoughby and Powers there, but falls to the floor on the Bobcats side. Point Montevallo, 7-3 the lead.
We talk
Michaela
about
Henderson still serving.
We talk about the power of Chandler Cooper, but Bree Bloom has a strong arm as well.
Long serve there from Henderson. Ebony Powers will serve now for the Bobcats. Here's Shannon Dudley off the hands of Kayla Brockway. Point Montevallo. And Christy Bohan will come back into the game now for Dudley.
Versus a team that only has 2 6-footers, Shannon Dudley is a big mismatch against that front line of the Bobcats.
Bree Bloom. Maggie Roper gets that one to fall. 8-5 the lead as the libero Edwardson goes back to serve.
Svela has also checked back in the game, so the 3 best hitters for the Bobcats in right now.
Christy Bohan, soft touch, popped up. Knocks that one down and then goes out of bounds off the Bobcats. 9-5 the lead now for the Falcons.
It looked like with that deflection, Ashley Savransky almost stole the point there, but Grace Harris watched it wide.
And we talk about the evolving play of Christy Bohan from last year and the year before, and we see it right there. I mean, the soft touches, the very intelligent hits there, observing where the defenders are and just trying to softly get the ball on the floor for a point instead of killing it. Here's Feisinger. Point for the Bobcats. That was Ashley Savransky. Three-point lead for the Falcons. Lindsey Holmes comes back in, and Savransky will come out. And a Christy Bohan. That one goes wide right out of bounds. And the crowd chanting for Christy Bohan. We have a great crowd on hand tonight. And Bohan answers them and gets a kill there. What a great play.
That was fantastic. Made up for that last error right there immediately.
And right on cue, 10-7, the lead. What an electric player Christy Bohan is.
Yeah, she looks a lot more agile this season. You can tell she's been working on her footwork as well.
Power sends it over. Christy. Bree Bloom now out of bounds. 10-8 the lead.
That's not a bad play there. Bree Bloom, very strong hitter. That one just went a little long, but you don't want to discourage that. You want her to keep on doing that because for the most part, she has been catching the back line.
Bobcats within 2 here. Chandler Cooper extends the lead back to 3 for the Falcons with that kill.
She has great vision and adjustment in the air. She puts it in places where you can't get it. And with a player like Holmes, a senior on this Bobcat side, you have to do that.
Touch at the line by Dudley. Hits it into Holmes. Edwardson's able to pop it up. And Feisinger is running over to try and hit it out of bounds, but unable to. The lead is cut to 2. Savela serving. Anna Christie sends that up for Cooper. Hits it into Holmes. Powers. Christie gets a piece of it, but goes out of bounds. Only a 1-point lead here for the Falcons in the second set. And Katie O'Brien will call a timeout for the Falcons. They'll talk things over here. Alex, what are the Bobcats doing right now? They're able to crawl back into this game only down 1 here in the second set.
Well, in the first set, they looked a little frantic. But behind the play of Lindsey Holmes, who's done well setting for the front court as well as defending. Also, when Shannon Dudley came out, it looked like the Falcons were a little laboring. They were smashing it, but it wasn't going down every time. So Lindsey Holmes has been keeping these plays alive. Some spectacular solo efforts However, on that last play, Hannah Christie, I think she hit the ball a little behind Chandler Cooper, couldn't get all the power on it. So Cooper and Bohan not getting best of the power. They might want the ball to be played a little more in front of them, kind of invite them closer to the net, because this is not a very tall Bobcat team.
Right.
So this is a net that Christy Bohan and Shannon Dudley can attack.
And we're seeing that. I mean, there's hands in the faces of every Bobcat hitter every time they try to record a kill. But unfortunately, in this set, a lot of those balls have deflected out of bounds off the Falcons instead of going back on the net for point. We saw it a couple times there with Shannon Dudley, and then on that last play with Hannah Christie.
Yeah, the Falcons just have to be a little bit faster, get their block set, maybe a little bit more aggressive.
Savela serve. Christie sends it up for Cooper, who gets it past the hands of Savela, who will come out for the libero Edwardson. 2-point lead now for Montevallo, 12-10.
And Maxwell is checked back in for the Falcons.
Hannah Christie serve. Ebony Powers bounces that one off the net, and it falls to the floor for a Bobcat point.
That one's just a lucky deflection. They had Shannon Dudley set, but it just went underneath her.
We've seen a lot of those tonight.
Yeah, the net's been kind so far to the
yeah.
Bobcats. Despite a team that only lost one home game all season last year, these Falcons real successful at the Bird Nest.
Yeah, Trustmark Arena, a very tough place to play as Chandler Cooper feeds the crowd with another kill, 13-11. And that loss last year, the only loss in the regular season, came in the last game in the regular season against rival Armstrong State. Here's Michaela Henderson for Willoughby. Hannah Christie pops that one up for Grace Harris. And Bree Bloom, that one sails out of bounds. Another Bobcat point as they are again only down by one here in the second set. See if they can tie or take the lead. Haven't been able to do so yet. Ebony Powers served. Powers on the hit into Christie's hands. Bloom pops that one up. Michaela Henderson. Bloom blocked at the net. Great team block there for Ashley Sarvansky and Blake Willoughby. Tie ball game now, 13-13 with Ebony Powers back to serve.
You can detect the little bit of youth in Bree Bloom. She didn't look like she trusted herself on any of those three attacks there, and now the Bobcats are tied. Twyford is checked back in the game.
Twyford pops that one up. Everson to Powers. What a great dig there by Henderson. Simone Maxwell. Blocked by Natalie Twyford. Point for Montevallo, and they retake the lead here, 14-13. Dudley's gonna come out for Christy Bohan.
And that's a different type of player than Bree Bloom, her height there and experience.
Grace Harris to serve. Powers, another great dig there from Henderson. But a violation there against Montevallo, point to the Bobcats. 14-14.
And it goes without saying, but this is a very pivotal set. If Falcons take a 2-0 lead, especially at home, you would think they would coast to a third. However, if Georgia College wins this after Montevallo played so well, you think it would be advantage Bobcats despite the tie.
Christy Bohan gets a block there. Point for Montevallo, retaking the lead. Another substitution as Nicolette Feisinger comes in for Simone Maxwell. And this is the 7th time these teams have played. Montevallo leads the series 4-2 overall. Montevallo lost the very first meeting, but has never been swept by this team, and that won't happen tonight as Montevallo took the first set. Bohan gets blocked. What a play. Natalie Twyford able to just pop that ball down very softly. 16-14, 2-point lead, and Coach Crumditch will take a timeout.
That was a very inspired sub by Katie O'Brien. Brought in Twyford, who's a little bit taller and looks a lot more assured of herself than Bree Bloom, who, you know, had those 3 kills. None of them fell to the floor. Twyford has 2 kills in quick succession.
And the style seems a little bit different from last year. Not as many substitutions last year as this year. I mean, there's so many players coming in and out, like every 2 or 3 plays. Last year, I mean, you had the 3 or 4 main ones that are the leaders of this team now that would come in and substitute in and out, but not like we're seeing here, and it just speaks to the depth of this Falcons team. And sometimes that can be a disadvantage, but it's an advantage so far this season.
Yeah, Falcons, we saw it against Clark Atlanta, a lot more subs even being used, the whole team being used in that match. So it looked like everybody has great defensive qualities. That seems to be what Coach O'Brien has been stressing. We saw in some games last year, especially when you're playing heavy peach belt opposition, when they have a hitter, you can really get down when you're playing somebody who will knock a succession of kills down.
Right.
The defense, however, she's not afraid to make subs. We've seen the back 3 rotate a lot, and they know the hot hands. They know Chandler Cooper and Christy Bohan is who you need to get it to in the front court. So as long as they play great defense, stay organized, which they have managed to do all season, they'll be in any contest.
And it's encouraging to see Michaela Henderson playing, just a freshman, getting a lot of playing time along these upperclassmen. Bohan tips that one and pops it back over, saved by Brockway. Hannah Christie unable to get a point there. Twyford gets it to fall, and miscommunication there. His Powers should have gotten to that ball. 17-14, 3-point lead.
Twyford's feeling it right now. I think a little earlier they should have fed the hot hand. Shannon Dudley was playing real well, and then she came out. Jen Chandler Cooper did well and came out.
Point there for Montevallo off the hit from Christy Bohan. Goes out of bounds off of Edwardson. 4-point lead. 18-14 here in the second set. In case you're just joining us, Montevallo took the first set 25-18. Twyford. That one kept alive by Powers, and then a point for the Bobcats off the hit by Maggie Roper.
And the Bobcats worked their way in a little bit of a hole, responded there. They have their 3 best hitters up front. Svelo getting into the game. Roper and Brockway, who really is the all-around player, with 204 assists as well as a 356 hit percentage.
And Bohan hits her signature move there. 19-15, the lead. And Chandler Cooper and Bree Bloom will come back in for Twyford and Henderson. Bloom will go back to serve. Maggie Roper. That one out of bounds, point for Montevallo.
And so far the Bobcats hitters haven't been on top of their game, but what's been really difficult is the job that Ebony Powers and Chandler Ewaldson have been asked to do in that backcourt. They have been bystanders for a lot of these Christy Bohan and Chandler Cooper kills. As we saw right there, another error by Ewaldson.
Off the serve from Bree Bloom. She just doesn't get in the correct position and sends that one over us, actually, out of bounds. And another timeout here taken by the Bobcats. The 6-point lead from the Falcons, and Christy Bohan has really been on fire. had a kind of a quiet game against Clark Atlanta, only 9 kills, but had 5 in that first set. And I don't have the exact stat right now, but probably has more than 9 right now.
Yeah, she only played in 2 sets the last game, but she also had a slow first set here. It took her a while to get going, but now that Falcons look a lot more organized, Hannah Christie's really stepped up. Her setting looked to be a little bit behind players, and we saw Bobcats getting opportunities to keep it alive in the defense. And when they kept it alive, Maggie Roper was hitting strong. Now Roper as well as Svela are mishitting, and the Falcons are doing great passing, getting the balls to the good players. I saw on that last one, the last hit Natalie Twyford had, they tried a little too hard. It was obvious the way they were getting it to her. But when they use the deception, whether it be Christy Bohan around the right side or whether it be the unorthodox tip over by Hannah Christie, either way, the unpredictability of the Falcons is what their advantage is. And they pass very well, so they should try a variety of things.
And they're a very good defensive team. I mean, we mentioned the 5 players, with over 50 digs, and we see that for everybody outside those 5 players. Everyone is getting on the ground for loose balls and then fighting in those broken plays to make something happen out of them.
Yeah, really all these opportunities have been brought about because of the fantastic hustle of the defense.
21-15, the lead here. Bree Bloom serve. Savela gets a hit there into the hands of Bohan and Cooper. However, it goes out of bounds and gives a point to the Bobcats. 22-16, the lead. Cooper tipped at the front line. Feistinger. Bohan bounces it off the net. Hannah Christie over to Chandler Cooper. Hits it long. 21-17. We'll talk about Montevallo make mistakes, Bobcats will make mistakes. And before that last time out, Bobcats were making mistakes. Now it's Montevallo making the mistakes.
Yeah, well, that's also the point of the timeout is try to shift the momentum.
Right.
But, yeah, you've mentioned it, momentum going back and forth here. As soon as the Bobcats make a mistake, the Falcons make an error. However, I think the target you need to go for in this game is Maggie Roper. She really looked like a deer in the headlights on that last point. Chandler Cooper just missed it long. However, she's been out of position a lot of this game, and, yeah, they go to her right here, and just awkward positioning. Right. She's done that for the whole game, and that's really where they've been looking to put it. But, yeah, some attacking errors that have been crept into the Falcons game recently.
2 points away from winning this second set is the Falcons as Christy Bohan serves.
That's an encouraging sign, however, to have attacking errors and still be 2 points away from a second set victory.
And that one was very close. But it goes out of bounds. Point to the Bobcats, and Savela will be back to serve. Hannah Christie over to Chandler Cooper. Goes after Savela again. We saw that same exact play happen not too long ago. Savela unable to get on the ground and dig that ball.
And what's helped the Falcons is every time they've had errors, Georgia College has taken advantage, but they haven't been able to put together a run of their own. They have to be a lot more aggressive.
Ebony Powers, it's a set point for the Falcons. Willoughby gets one to fall between the blockers, Chandler Cooper and Shannon Dudley. 5-point Montevallo lead. Kayla Brockway back to serve. Chandler Cooper, point for the Falcons, and that will do it for this second set here. Montevallo leading 2-0, won the first set 25-18, wins this second set 25-19, and they will go into the locker rooms for a brief break. We're going to be back here in just about 8 minutes for the start of the third set, but before that, here's a few commercials.
forward. We can't rush. Now tell me why somebody even want to choose a college. I know you don't want to leave with just book knowledge. We don't sell an institution but an attitude. Other schools don't understand. They're on a different latitude. You don't want to get caught up in that sea of sameness when we perfectly unique. Yeah, we looking blameless. Forget about the seats, get louder, louder. We chose Montevallo and we couldn't be prouder.
Some margaritas watching the blue lights. Listen to the Mayans play.
Between classwork and everything else on your plate, there isn't a whole lot of time to watch the news.
And that's why here at Dr. Weekly, we focus on the stories that you
So once a week, we impact your life and matters to you. From parents events to entertainment and football, to the latest national and world news, Dr. Weekly is your one-stop shop for information. And you can always find information from us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Dr. Weekly, find your news here. That's why here at Falcon Weekly, we want to focus on the stories you need to know. Once a week, tune in online or on the go for the news that impacts your life and matters to you. Falcon Weekly is your one-stop shop for information.
And stay in touch with us 24/7 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Falcon Weekly, find your news here.
Said she was good. Said she was good. Said she was good.
This is the College of Fine Arts.
Welcome back in here to Trustmark Arena. I'm Wyatt Hall alongside Alex Tejada, getting ready to start the third set of this Peach Belt Conference opener between the Montevallo Falcons and the Georgia College Bobcats. Montevallo has a 2-0 lead here over the Bobcats. And it's been an impressive opening conference game here for Montevallo tonight, Alex.
Yeah, it definitely has. We mentioned all the players with over 50 digs in the backfield. She's been rotating the back line a lot. The defense looks fantastic, and it's led to organization. At the beginning, the hitters weren't exactly getting the kills they needed, but Chandler Cooper and Christy Bohan have found the power and have also gotten support from Natalie Twyford and Shannon Dudley.
And Chandler Cooper had the hot hand there in that second set, recording 6 kills after grabbing 2 in the first set. So a point there for the Bobcats as they take the early 1-0 lead.
That was very aggressive from Taylor Spela, but now that they're down, they have to go all out.
Ebony Powers. Hannah Christie to Christy Bohan. 1-1 the score now, and I have a feeling that Christie to Christie is going to be happening all season long very often. Just like it has here tonight. 10 kills for Christy Bohan.
Yeah,
Ebony Powers. Savela gets the kill there.
They've definitely found a rhythm, those two, Christie and Christie. However, it's starting to get going for the Bobcats between Brockway and Svela. They couldn't get it going between Brockway and Roper. Brockway has 204 assists on the year. Has been very quiet today in comparison.
2-1, the Bobcats leading here. Brockway does have 15 assists in this game, leading the Bobcats, but behind Hannah Christie, who has 26 for the Falcons. Christie again to Christie Bohan. And the Bobcats have been unable to come up with a solution to stopping that play.
Yeah, so much power there on that kill. There was no stopping it.
A service ace there for Christie Bohan goes off the fingertips of Miller Howard, the senior from Swanee, Georgia.
That was a free point there for Georgia College. But Georgia College, their defense starting to look a little stretched or tired. When they do get in position, they're not getting enough of it. And when they're getting it back over the net, it's just lofting it up invitingly for Christie Bohan to attack.
Brockway on the serve. Cooper, and that'll be 4 hits. So the Bobcats will get a point there. Cooper was trying to send it over the net, but came up short. 4-3 lead here for Georgia College. Bree Bloom, Hannah Christie, Chandler Cooper. That's a point for Montevallo. Three to 5.
We mentioned how Hannah Christie has 26 assists. If it's been her defense that set everything up, Grace Harris.
And Hannah Christie comes crashing in to the scorer's table, but unable to do anything with that play. 6-3 the lead for the Bobcats, and Coach O'Brien's going to take a timeout here.
Grace Harris has really been an unsung hero today. She's been all over the place in the back line. She needs a little bit of help now because the Bobcats are out to a good run to start this third set.
A team leading 12 digs for Grace Harris today, and game leading as well. And this is unlike anything we've seen here in the first 2 sets tonight. Montevallo is actually down 3 here early. Coach O'Brien taking the timeout, trying to talk things over with their team, make adjustments so this doesn't become worse.
Yeah, it's just some heads started to go down a little bit at the end of that last point. Just a couple mental errors we saw from Christie and Cooper. Just trying to regain focus and come back strong. Falcons have dominated most of this match, even when the Bobcats have capitalized on some errors. They have yet to get going.
The last time these two teams met, Georgia College actually won the game in 5 sets after Montevallo was leading 2-0. So we understand the urgency there from Coach O'Brien trying to make those adjustments before it gets out of hand, because we know how dangerous this Bobcat team can be.
Yeah, this is not a team you want to drop the third set to.
Chandler Cooper gets blocked at the net, sent back over, still in play, tipped again. And that one out of bounds, coming off of Nicolette Feisinger after Danielle Drummond gets a piece of it. 4-point lead for the Bobcats. What is Georgia College doing right now that is just causing them to be in the lead, Alex?
Well, it's just starting to click now in the front court. They've made some substitutions. They've taken off Roper. Now they're going with Drummond and Savransky. So the missed hits that they've had, the kills now are starting to drop. With that hit percentage increasing, they can further capitalize on Montevallo's hitting errors.
And it's almost like the defense of Georgia College is able to telegraph the plays that Montevallo is trying to run. We see Shannon Dudley will come and run behind Hannah Christie, and she sends it over to the left side for Chandler Cooper, maybe changing up and sending a backward set to Dudley coming to run when they're not expecting it. Could spark some offense.
Yeah, and Georgia College has made some subs too. We saw Ewaldson was getting picked on. Now she has help in the back court between Ebony Powers and Miller Howard, who just came on recently, a senior. So trying some different things.
So 2 points in a row here for Montevallo as they're trying to mount a comeback in this set. Hannah Christie serving the kill there from Shannon Dudley. Georgia College still leading 7-5.
Yeah, Crumdeek has made a few changes just overall in the lineup and the formation, but they've had to start attacking more, so the defense has moved up. So you got bigger players like Miller Howard, who hasn't played in the first 2 sets, the senior from Suwanee, Georgia, trying to use her as a rallying point for the back line, which has had trouble so far dealing with Chandler Cooper and Christy Bohan.
Ebony Powers gets that one to ricochet off Shannon Dudley, and Simone Maxwell is unable to make a play. So the Bobcats add to their lead here, 8-5, and Powers will serve.
Interestingly, they brought Dudley in because it seems like Danielle Drummond seems to be the only person that can stop Christy Bohan.
And a miss hit there from Grace Harris, too far into the net, and the Bobcats poke it down for an easy point, 9-5. Chandler Cooper rifles that one out of bounds. 5-point lead now. I believe this is the biggest lead of the night for the Bobcats.
And it's worrying because, like you said, they came back in a 5-set contest the last time they met. And Georgia College has gotten back into the game through this set without really playing their best. If they can get Brockway and Roper going at the same time.
And Montevallo's already played 5-set matches this season. Montevallo gets a point there. Michaela Henderson back to serve. Montevallo down 4. Miller Howard, Grace Harris, Simone Maxwell. And that hit from Sarvansky goes out of bounds. Montevallo trimming down the lead to 3. Henderson still back to serve.
Yeah, Sabransky and Howard have both made big influences in terms of style of play since coming on, but they're also prone to errors.
And a powerful hit there from Miller Howard. Goes off of the hands Grace Harris, extending the lead back to 4 for the Bobcats. And they look like it's going to be very difficult for Montevallo to come back, as every time they score a point, the Bobcats answer. That play kept alive. Cervela tipped. Twyford barely gets that one over and then hit into the stands. Uncharacteristic play there from Kayla Brockway to hit it, and Savansky cannot get that ball out of the stands. Point for Montevallo.
Montevallo lucky to get that point because it's some of the movement is a little off, some of the passing. That also in part to play with some of the stronger hitters that have been brought on for the Bobcats. But Montevallo just a little scrambly in the backcourt, having to dive to get some, so it's not as easy for the hitters to knock it over. You saw Natalie Twyford just knocking it over, not getting a chance to smash it down.
Lindsey Holmes back to serve for the Bobcats, up 4 here in the 3rd set. Hannah Christy Bohan, there's the play. Maybe that sparks a comeback for the Falcons here in this 3rd set. Win this and you win it all.
Yeah, Falcons got back to basics there and to great success. That might be the turning point they need in this set.
Feisinger comes in for Simone Maxwell. She'll take a breather. And a service error on Feisinger, hitting that one into the net. Danielle Drummond, Miller Howard serving. And that ball sent into the scorers table, extending the lead of the Bobcats 13-9.
Grace Harris just couldn't deal with the power there, and there's another one, but she gave it too much.
There's the break that Montevallo leads our needs as Howard serves that one too long. Chandler Cooper and Bree Bloom come back in for Michaela Henderson and Natalie Twyford as Bloom will go in to serve. 20 service aces on the season for Bloom. Another point for the Bobcats, again hitting it into the blockers of the Falcons, but having it ricochet out of bounds. Chandler Cooper. Savela gets that one up to Brockway, to Powers. And a double touch was called, I believe. Actually, no, it was against Montevallo. So point for the Bobcats. That one rifled out of bounds. And the Bobcats add to their lead, 17-10.
And after a fantastic start, Chandler Cooper's hitting percentage has gone down in the last couple sets, starting to look a little frustrated.
Right, had the great second set with the 6 kills, but she kind of looks like her old self here in this set with a lot of power, maybe frustration. Some of those balls not falling, or some of the lucky plays that the Bobcats are getting. And I hate to use that, but a lot of these ricochets, I mean,
yeah.
I've been fortunate for Georgia College.
Also a senior, Chandler Cooper, trying to take it upon herself to bring her team back in here, so swinging with all her might. And we mentioned she's gotten the control back. However, last 2-3 kills have been long, which we mentioned is one of the few weaknesses in her game.
And right, Hannah Christie and Chandler Cooper are the only seniors on this Falcons team, so they're probably putting this on themselves. We'll see the leadership of those two to try and bring the Falcons out of this deficit. Also look at Christy Bohan. She's a huge vocal leader on the floor as well. So after that timeout, the Bobcats will be serving, and it's Taylor Sevilla.
And I believe right now the Falcons have their best lineup in. These are their best 3 defenders. Bloom, Feisinger, and Harris have formed a good trio in the back. And then the duo of Chandler Cooper and Christy Bohan on either side for Christy.
A controversial call. I don't know if we have a replay or not of that, but a lot of the Falcon defenders thought that was out of bounds. However, the line judge called it in, so point for the Bobcats. 18-10. Bohan gets a kill there. 18-11, the lead.
Yeah, very decisive play there for Christy Bohan. It looked like a call did go against the Falcons there, but they respond.
And another close call. Ebony Powers on the hit. I couldn't tell if that one was out of bounds or not. But a point for the Bobcats nonetheless, 19-11.
And the Bobcats can feel their power starting to wear down on Montevallo, so they bring in another powerful hitter, Ashley Savransky.
And an uncharacteristic play there as Bree Bloom and Christie and Dudley get touches on that play, but no one was in the area the Bobcats hit it into. Easy point.
Yeah, surprising. There were a couple players out of position there. So the tip over was to nobody. They've brought on Harley Masoner, the talented freshman setter. She looked very impressive in the game against Clark Atlanta, getting her first significant minutes of the season.
Shannon Dudley with the solo block. Look at that replay. Great block from Dudley, being in the perfect position and using her height.
And that's her specialty, the solo block. She started the season doing that. She went away from it. Didn't have as many opportunities last weekend or against Clark Atlanta. That could be a way back into this set for the Falcons.
Here's Masoner serving. Blake Willoughby. Cooper. Danielle Drummond hits that one over. Dudley gets the kill. What a set from the freshman Harley Masoner. the freshman setter from Camden, Tennessee. Bright future ahead of her here in this Falcons program.
Yeah, we mentioned it's unfortunate she came into a program behind a senior, Hannah Christie, because she's a fantastic player and could be pushing for a starting position.
In high school, Masoner was awarded West Tennessee Player of the Year last year and selected as the district's most valuable player. She'll go back to serve for a second time. 13-20, the lead for the Bobcats. What a smart play there. Number 9, Danielle Drummond, popping it over the speedy defenders for the point, 21-13. Masoner to Cooper. Simone Maxwell, soft touch. Dudley. Harris keeps it alive. Back to Cooper. Hits it into the Bobcat defender for a point, and the crowd erupts here in Trustmark Arena. And as usual, we will see the substitution. It would have been Cooper's serve, so Michaela Henderson and Natalie Twyford will come back in.
Yeah, interesting partnership starting to form between Harris and Masoner. We saw it to great effect on the first couple points, however, on that mistake, which allowed Drummond to tip it over the front line into the back court.
What a dig there by Grace Harris.
Those two were on the different pages and out of position.
And that one gets by Michaela Henderson. Another point for the Bobcats, and they have absolutely dominated this set, except for a few kills here and there from Dudley or Bohan.
Well, they've gone out with a big lineup. They've brought some new players in the defense because they weren't being able to handle Chandler Cooper and Bohan. They've frustrated them now with some good digs, a couple misses by Chandler Cooper. So now that they've jumped out to a lead, they've been on the upper hand. They've been able to dictate play, and Montevallo has just made enough mistakes to keep them from getting back into the game.
The libero, Chandler Edwardson, back to serve now. Simone Maxwell, Michaela Henderson. Ebony Powers gets that one to go, and boy, is she having a wonderful third set here. This will be the set point for the Bobcats, trying to take the first set win of the match.
Ebony Powers looked very hesitant in the first set, couldn't get a lot to fall. However, now she's found some kills. She's given license to attack. The sophomore from Jacksonville, Florida, looking deadly as the game continues.
And as we've seen all game, they go at the two blockers. This time it was Twyford and Dudley, and it ricochets again out of bounds, and that is the third set. However, the Georgia College Bobcats win that one 25-14, so Montevallo goes out quickly, winning the first two sets, and then gives up that one. Some mistakes here and there from the Falcons, but overall the best set of the day and a great set from the Bobcats. Ebony Powers being a key player in that last set.
Yeah, they're just attacking a lot more. They knew that was a do-or-die set, and the attacking impetus has put Montevallo's defense on the back foot. They've been fantastic all day. They finally had to deal with some pressure and some heat coming from the hitters of Georgia College. Georgia College responded there. Took advantage of some lofted balls at the net. Montevallo got back in, and we saw Shannon Dudley with a key block and a couple kills towards the late. Montevallo just has to keep their organization and make sure they get their blocks set. Dudley, Bohan, and Cooper should be able to see them through if they have a solid fourth set. But you know, doubt will start to creep in the longer that fourth set goes.
And Kayla Brockway had a great set for a setter, getting 12 assists in that third set. Ebony Powers comes up huge, getting 6 total kills in that set as well. Christy Bohan picks up 4, giving her a total of 13 for the game leader in the kill category. Hannah Christie has 33 assists in this game. Can't say that was unexpected.
Yeah, she's definitely been the main part of the Falcons' between the attacking line and the back line. She's really the glue that keeps those two together. But we saw Harley Masoner come in for her in the second part. I don't know if maybe Coach O'Brien thought that set was already lost and tried to get her some playing time, but she looked very impressive as well.
Yeah.
Just a communication error with Harris that led a point in, but besides that, she looks to have the technique down.
And Shannon Dudley here, 7 kills on 13 attempts, a .462 hitting percentage. Very impressive, the best in the game.
Yeah, the problem is getting service for Shannon Dudley. When she gets service, it's fantastic.
And we
Falcons
saw
were scrambling a little too much, though.
When Masoner came in, we saw a good partnership.
Yeah.
That's when she got her 2 kills, was when Masoner came in. She recorded 2 assists.
Katie Ray has been brought into the lineup for Georgia College. Junior from Cumming, Georgia, 5'4", designated setter in the backcourt. So continuing, not just Montevallo, but Bobcats switching things in the backcourt, trying to have a new form of defense to deal with the strong hitters today.
Montevallo switching liberos here. Michaela Henderson is in the black jersey now in place of Grace Harris. Weisinger, Christie, Bohan, Bloom, Cooper, and Henderson, your starting 6 for Montevallo. And a little bit of hot potato there lands a point for the Bobcats. They start out this set up 1-0. Katie Ray serves that one. Bloom on the hit. Kept alive by Bloom. Chrissy Bohan slips there. Bloom rifles that one in for a point. And Bohan is going to ask for a towel to wipe up a slippery spot in the floor. She almost fell to the ground.
She's a very powerful hitter, but her confidence was starting to get down after that second set. A lot of good digs for the defense of Bobcats. However, that was untouchable. Bree Bloom, cross court, putting it in the far corner.
And that's something we saw Ebony Powers do several times back in that third set when they were on that side of the floor. Bree Bloom back to serve. Into the net, service error. And the least likely suspect for that being the service ace leader on the team.
And Miller Howard gives it right back. She made a difference in the defense last set, but that's her second service error of the game.
So Falcons and Bobcats trade points there, and Christy Bohan serves. Ebony Powers. Christy sets for Cooper. Savela. Christy pops it up. Bohan, what a powerful hit. Kept alive. Powers soft touch. Savela into the net, and big 6'3", Shannon Dudley was right in her face.
There was just too many touches there. I don't think Savela or Brockway were on the same page. They didn't know who was setting for who, and you saw a little bit of confusion, and Savela's contact couldn't get it all the way over.
3-2. The lead for the Falcons. And a service ace for Christy Bohan. She has 4 on the day, leading both teams. And she will serve again with her team up 2. Christy to Bree Bloom. Powers on that left side. Cooper gets stuffed, but it goes out of bounds. The play that happens so often in favor of the Bobcats, the first 3 sets, comes back to haunt them there as Montevallo is able to add to their lead.
Interesting that they've been going to Ebony Powers, who had a fantastic last set now as the main hitter. She came into this game with 55 kills, which, not unexpected that she should have a good day, but by no means the main hitter on this team. It's funny that they went to her for 2 straight times. Hannah Christie kept it alive with the dig.
And what a brilliant play there from Kayla Brockway to tip it over and catch the defense off guard to score a point. And Savela will go back to serve. Hannah Christie to Chandler Cooper. And Dudley stuffs the Bobcats there, but the play is kept alive. I don't know how that ball is still in the air. Wow. What a sequence of plays. I mean, that's one of the few rallies that has been very impressive by both teams, just being able to keep a loose ball and broken play alive. And Brockway does the similar play she did a second ago to score a point.
Yeah, that was just a good testament to the athleticism of both teams.
And Savela hits it into the net. Point from Montevallo.
And she was good, fantastic in the third set. A lot better in the second, but she's having the same errors she had in the first set. Taylor Savela, the freshman, showing her youth and inexperience.
Simone Maxwell comes in for Nicolette Feisinger. And Kayla Brockway, 3 times in a row, gets a point with that sort of set poke play.
And it's no secret that they're going right at Michaela Henderson. They know she's the new libero and a freshman.
Hannah Christie, Cooper. Dug by Miller Howard. Ball blocked and sent back over. Powers sends it long. Point for the Falcons. Montevallo extends her lead 7-5. And Grace Harris will come back in to the game here, but not as the libero.
Powers and Ewaldson have been a duo the whole game. That time they just didn't get it right.
Henderson and Harris switching roles here. It's Harris and Twyford coming in for Cooper and Balloon. And a point for the Bobcats, 7-6. Ebony Powers on that.
Yeah, Powers, Brockway, and Ewaldson having fantastic games in the last couple sets. They've really turned it on. They have to get their teammates to join them and cut down on those errors. Falcons look to have recovered from a soft third set.
And there's a positioning error by the Bobcats. Some more substitutions. Shannon Dudley coming out. Christy Bohan coming in. 2-point lead, 8-6 for the Falcons.
I think Coach O'Brien can smell a run coming, so she wants Christy Bohan out on the court.
Rightfully so. Grace Harris to Henderson, who sends it long, trying to sneak it in on the back line. Falcons clinging to a 1-point lead here in the fourth set.
Not sure that play was necessary, especially with the organization and the passing the Falcons have done. That doesn't show much trust in your teammates knocking it over. That's a low percentage shot.
And being a young player, that's something that Coach O'Brien will point out to her and teach her. And she will learn from that, I'm sure.
Yeah, she's a developing player. She's looked fantastic in the backcourt. Some of the organization that some of the older players have seems to be missing. And, of course, game time. This is her first Peach Belt Conference game.
Christie over to Twyford. And that one does not get the back line. We saw a call go against Montevallo earlier where the line judge called it in. It appeared to be out. This one, the opposite of that. Looked to have touched that back line. However, point for the Bobcats. And Hannah Christie was running to try and set that for Bohan, but it goes into the net. So the Bobcats take the lead here, 9-8, and the libero Edwardson back to serve. Twyford popped up by Powers. Bohan into the face of Edwardson. Montevallo tying it up.
And the service wasn't that good for Twyford. The ball was behind her, but she managed to put it on that side, and just by keeping the point alive, Georgia College couldn't do anything with it. And if you give Montevallo a second chance to attack, Christy Bohan will find the ball, and she finds the floor successfully.
And a net violation as Twyford hits the bottom of it, giving the Bobcats the lead here, 10-9 in the fourth set. If you're just joining us, Montevallo won the first 2 sets. However, the Bobcats came back in that first set and just take the lead here in this third set. This can be scary, as the last time they played a 5-set match in favor of the Bobcats, and Montevallo was leading 2-0 to start it off. 10-10, the score here. Bree Bloom back to serve. Kept alive by Miller Howard. Savela sends it over. Christy Bohan. Point for the Bobcats.
That was a little too lazy there by the Falcons. They needed more power.
Bohan tried to do the soft touch, get it over the defenders, but they telegraphed it the whole way. Bohan probably would have been better off just rifling that one into their faces.
Yeah, that's not a play you want to do against their tallest player. Taylor Svelas made some mistakes, but not when you lob it to her like that. Be interesting to see. Miller Howard's had 2 service errors. Back to serve right now.
11-10 the lead for the Bobcats. Miller Howard serve. Chandler Cooper. Howard pops it up over to Powers. Feisinger is there, and Bohan gets a point. It all started with a great defense of Nicolette Feisinger popping it up to Hannah Christie, feeding Christy Bohan.
Yeah, Feisinger fantastic with her positioning. She hasn't been as good today as she was against Clark Atlanta, but she's showing there her skill set, puts it up, and Christy Bohan doesn't really need to jump. She can hit it from anywhere, which is really impressive.
12-11 the lead for the Bobcats. Bloom sends that over. Dudley gets a piece of it, and she catches the Bobcat defenders out of position, able to come up with a point, tying the game back up for the Falcons. Substitution, Nicolette Feisinger comes out. Simone Maxwell will come in. Ebony Powers, no one there on the Powers kill, retaking the lead for the Bobcats, 13-12.
And she was arguably the strongest player last set, and she's continued this Bobcat resurgence. She missed a couple early on, but she's gotten 2 kills in the last 2 attacks.
Substitution for the Bobcats, Ashley Sarvansky in for Katie Ray.
And Savransky just provides you a little bit more hitting power.
Soft touch there by Simone Maxwell lands a point for the Falcons, 13-13.
So the first 2 sets a little uneven in the Falcons' favor. The last one the Bobcats ran away with. This one, back and forth. No team can put together a string of points. It'll be interesting to see who can do that, if anyone can, to put some momentum together. Of course, if the Falcons win this one, it's over. But if Bobcats can win this, they would definitely put the pressure on Montevallo at home. Coming back from 2 sets shows a resilient side.
But being in a 5-set match is something that Montevallo is used to this season, already playing in 5 and winning 3 of those.
Yeah, part of the good thing about the young team is they don't get down on themselves. And with all the rotation, you have a lineup that believes in themselves. So every time they're bringing 100% for the hitting. We've seen it throughout Chandler Cooper's career. She misses, but she'll come back every time. But that was a fantastic block.
And the Bobcats are just not letting up here in the birdcage of Trustmark Arena. 15-13.
The Falcons have
lead.
just blinked in this set. Let's see if they can recover.
Twyford, and a point for the Falcons. It goes off of Edwardson, and Ebony Powers hustles over to make the acrobatic play, but cannot do it. Montevallo within one. Miller Howard, popped up by Henderson over to Bohan. And a point for the Bobcats. Once again, Ashley Savansky gets it to ricochet out of bounds. Seen that so many times tonight.
Yeah, Savransky's been very influential off the bench.
Bohan sends it over. It bounces off of Ebony Powers. Point for Montevallo. And the substitutions continue here for the Falcons. Feisinger back in to serve for Simone Maxwell. That one blocked at the line. Bobcats able to recover. And once again, Twyford and Bohan gave the Bobcat defenders nowhere to go. Tying the game back up at 16. Impressive defensive performance from those two.
That was a fantastic play. We saw Twyford in the last set do that. Now at a lot more important time.
Christie, Bohan. We've seen that play so many times, and they're starting to go to it here. And with that, they take the lead, 17-16. We'll see if Montevallo can build off that momentum.
And that's that play. That was fantastic. Bohan was the architect of it, and Christie laid it up for her. And with the momentum she has going, it was always going to be Christie Bohan's kill.
Savansky. And Hannah Christie fooled me there. I thought we were going to see the Bohan play, but gives Twyford a shot. Comes up short. Point for the Bobcats, tying the game up at 17. And another substitution. Katie Ray back in for Ashley Sarvansky.
So little mini runs for both teams from 13-13, but now we're back at 17-17. So neither team taking complete advantage.
And seeing how this game's going, if it were to go into a fifth set, it would be quite the match, I'm sure. Ray's serve. Christie over to Twyford. Brockway. Edwardson. Christie pops it over the net. Savela gets a piece of it. Christie sets for Bohan. What a play. Incredible set there by Hannah Christie, and Bohan just sends it home.
That was fantastic because on the first attempt, they forced it to Twyford. She tried to put it down. Georgia College managed to keep it alive. However, they couldn't do anything with the attack because of the pace put on it by Twyford. And Bohan got the second opportunity. And again, Hannah Christie assisting her fantastically. That time it was at a perfect height.
Coming into this season, Christie Bohan had 753 kills in her career, combined between her freshman and sophomore season here at Montevallo. It looks like she's well on her way to break 1,000 this season. And then she still has a whole nother year. Very impressive career that Christie Bohan is putting together. And it's from plays just like that one with setters Bree Marquez last year, and now with Hannah Christie this year, and probably Harley Masoner next season.
Yeah, Coach O'Brien knows that 1,000th kill is coming through this season. She just wants those kills to come at very important times. We've seen Christie Bohan rack up a lot of kills and pad the stat sheet with some losing sets. We've seen a lot of 3-2s that fall in this year. Christie Bohan, of course, 20, 21 kills per game in those losses. But today, that was a vital kill. She had to make that one, and she put it down. And the crowd really erupted there. That could be a real turning point. Falcons with the lead. They haven't had that feeling in a couple sets.
18-17. Montevallo leads here, up 2-1 in sets in this match. Bree Bloom's serve. Brockway, Miller Howard gets stuffed at the net. Hannah Christie and Christy Bohan. Impressive defensive play.
Wow, they get it done on the offensive side of the court, and they are on the defensive side. What a duo there on that right side this set.
And again, a service error from Bree Bloom. Very, very uncharacteristic of her play.
Yeah, Bree Bloom has been fantastic with the service aces. Just, I don't know, trying a little too much power because the height hasn't been there.
Bohan, soft touch, popped up. Miller Howard sends it over. Christy Bohan. It seems automatic at this point, Alex, when those two set up for that play.
Yeah, Georgia College already adjusting when they see Hannah Christie with the ball. That's why she had those couple points where she fooled them out. But this time, it doesn't matter if you know it's coming. The cross-court winner, especially from that acute angle, Christy Bohan, unstoppable. When you can put it in a position like that from the right side all the way in the left corner.
And a net violation. Shannon Dudley goes to the floor, seems to be a little shaken up. Had a collision there at the net with Taylor Sevilla, I believe, having to be helped up. It's like a knee issue maybe. Hopefully she'll be okay. Never want to see that.
Yeah, no, especially when there's no contact. It was an innocuous fall, but you never know the way she landed there, especially with knees.
Shannon Dudley, a very important part to this Montevallo defense and offense.
Yeah, the tallest player on this team. You could hear a pin drop right now in the stadium.
Hasn't been this quiet all game. And a newcomer to the floor for the Falcons, it will be Brianna Dixon, freshman middle blocker, sitting at 6'1", from Mobile, Alabama.
Brianna Dixon got a little time late in the third set against Clark Atlanta. Didn't have enough time to get an impression on her, but she seemed to be another player that was very organized and part of this passing style that Katie O'Brien has relied upon at the beginning of this year.
Dixon was all-state in volleyball and also all-county in basketball, a dual athlete. Brockway to Powers. Feisinger. Christie pops that over. Point Falcons. 22-18. 3 points away from a match victory.
And they were probably looking for Bohan there when Christie has it, but she does it herself there and puts it over. Also, Brioni Dixon brings the height that they haven't had for a while. 6'1" was their tallest player last year. Another 6-footer, Brioni Dixon, coming in to replace Rebecca Phelps possibly as a long-term.
Rebecca Phelps, the very successful outside hitter from Montevallo in the past.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they recover from that. They've lost Bree Marquez, Nicole Holton, Rebecca Phelps, and Carissa Bell. They've started this year really smart, especially after the opening weekend went 2-2. They were unfortunate to lose those games, but now conference play has started.
And I think that's partly why we're seeing the substitutions. There's not one player on this team that can step in and fulfill each of those players that they miss. I mean, those players
dominated
really
their
good.
roles.
I mean, I don't want to say they're irreplaceable, but it's very hard to do what they did again. But Coach O'Brien has attacked that issue very well with this substitution method that has been working so far this season.
Yeah, with a lot of youth and the loss of 4 players can really be bad for a team, especially starting a season, but they've really worked as a unit.
And when you have Christy Bohan, I mean, that's a huge plus.
Yeah. Christy Bohan is just a different dimension, just a new element to this side.
Brockway. Christie sets it up. Chandler Cooper. What a tip there from Savela. Christie runs over to set it again. Cooper. Here's Ebony Powers. Savela nails that one home. That hit popped up just a little too far out of the reach of the Falcons, and Savela gets herself a point. 22-19 the lead for Montevallo.
Yes, Savela, very inconsistent player, but when she's gotten it right, she has at the right times.
Cooper blocked, but that one lands inbounds. Great defensive effort there between Brockway and Danielle Drummond. 22-20.
Yeah, as they proved all game, the Bobcats aren't going away easily. And notice Chandler Cooper is starting to hit a little bit more down with the ball. She's had some that have flown long, so taking off a little bit of the power maybe, or possibly the pace placement. They've blocked it and gotten 2 digs in the last 3 attacks by Chandler Cooper. She's really been frustrated after opening 2 sets of a lot of kills.
Neither team can really sustain a lead here. Montevallo has a 5-6 point lead, and then the Bobcats just call back, and then they get a lead. Montevallo comes back. Very back and forth game, but it makes for an exciting one to watch. Yeah,
neither team has really stepped up and dominated the game. They're kind of, maybe it's too much respect for each other or just the hustle. Both teams have kept it alive. There's been a few mistakes on both sides, mental errors, but for the most part, a very even contest.
Bobcats down 2 here in this 4th set. Taylor Savila back to serve.
I think Falcons would like their chances, though. They're so fantastic at home, and they're 3 points away from victory. We'll see what they can do.
Chandler Cooper gets the kill. She's been looking for that the past 5 or 6 plays. They've gone to her. Finally gets it there. 2 points away from a match victory.
Yeah, I said we'll see what they can do. They go back to the play that's been successful. They continue to try it. The first 3 times it doesn't work, and that time Chandler Cooper gets the kill.
Ebony Powers, soft touch, lands the kill home. 23-21.
In my opinion, she's been the best attacking player today for the Bobcats. Ebony Powers had a fantastic 3rd set.
Came in 8 kills behind the team lead, behind Taylor Savila, but very dominating today is Ebony Powers. So another point here from the Bobcats. Coach O'Brien is going to take a timeout here after that miscommunication. 23-22. After those first 2 sets, I wouldn't have expected the 3rd and 4th set that we've had, but it has been a very exciting match.
Well, yeah, the Bobcats were just disorganized in the beginning 2 sets. They got a grip on the Montevallo attack. Montevallo had good passing, but Bobcats shifted their defense, new players, bigger players, and they looked to deal with the Montevallo attack. Now, Christy Bohan's individual talent has gotten her past the front blockers. They've stuffed Chandler Cooper, however, so they've halved part of the Montevallo attack. That's why they're rotating players in and out.
I mean, we've seen middle blocker Blake Willoughby, Miller Howard come in to play for the Bobcats these last 2 sets, and they really have made a difference. I mean, it's not necessarily something that shows up on the stat sheet, but just getting loose balls and just making plays, getting in front of the Falcon defender or the Falcon hitters.
Yeah, we've seen Katie Ray as well in the backcourt. Savransky coming in. She provides a different threat at the front court. So Bobcats just mixing things up.
Here's Kayla Brockway with her team down 1. Christie makes a mistake there, popping it up out of bounds. And folks, we have a tie ball game here in the 4th set.
Yeah,
it is Kayla Brockway to serve.
It's harsh on Christie there. She's had a great game and then a mistake at that time.
Bloom to Christie. Maxwell. Christie gets that one. Maxwell. It's interesting that Bohan is not in the game right now. Wow, what a play from Bree Bloom to keep that alive. And I thought I counted 4 hits there, but the refs seem to disagree. Finally, Brianna Dixon gets the kill there. 24-23.
Fantastic display of defense on both sides.
Definitely the longest rally of the night. And now Grace Harris, our featured Falcon for today. The junior from Cypress, Texas, averaging 5 digs per set, will come in now to try and close this out with a service ace.
The whole crowd on their feet. This should be a fantastic point.
Match point, and that is the game. Brianna Dixon, the freshman, gets the solo block, leading to a score, and Montevallo wins this one 25-23 on their home court. They open up in Peach Belt Conference play and get a victory. Well on their way to an undefeated home regular season like last year until that last game.
Yeah, fantastic crowd today. Fantastic response by the Falcons. They never got down. They got blown out in the third set. However, they had full command through the first two, got them through. They just had to keep their nerve in this fourth, and they did. The individual play of Christy Bohan was fantastic. And we mentioned the depth of this squad and the vast array of talent that they have. Very interesting that the last 2 points, a kill and a block by freshman Brianna Dixon.
And that's always encouraging when you can have a freshman come off the bench late in a game that's that tight and make plays like that. Final stat lines on the Falcons. Christy Bohan had 19 kills and a whopping 44 assists for Hannah Christie. 33 assists for Kayla Brockway. 15 total kills for Ebony Powers, and then Chandler Cooper also adding in 12 kills for the Falcons. Alex, what else can we take away from this impressive game we just saw the Falcons play?
Well, it was interesting, the defensive changes. Beisinger and Harris looked fantastic in the beginning, but towards the end, we saw Bloom and Henderson were really the main 2 defenders. Also going forward, there were brief flashes from Twyford and Dudley. Looked fantastic in the attacking. Cooper looks fantastic, but they started to shut her down a little bit as they got used to the attack. Didn't seem like they could stop the Bohan and Christie play. However, that one kept going. So Bohan's hot hand and form continues. It should be a great game tomorrow when Augusta comes in.
Right, Montevallo will take on Augusta University at 1 p.m. tomorrow. They take the victory tonight here against Georgia College, winning 3-1. When we come back, we'll have an interview with Christy Bohan and Coach Ketty O'Brien. Stick around.
That's why here at Falcon Weekly, we want to focus on the stories you need to know. Once a week, tune in online or on the go for the news that impacts your life and matters to you.
Falcon Weekly is your one-stop shop for information.
And stay in touch with us 24/7 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Falcon Weekly. Find your news here.
How did we become painted with just one brush? Time's forever moving forward. We can't rush. Now tell me why somebody even want to choose a college. I know you don't want to leave with just book knowledge. We don't sell an institution, but an attitude. Other schools don't understand. They on a different latitude. You don't want to get caught up in that sea of sameness when we perfectly unique. Yeah, we looking blameless. So get up out your seats, get louder, louder. We chose Montevallo and we couldn't be prouder.
This is the College of Fine Arts.
Between class, work, and everything else on your plate, there isn't a whole lot of time to watch the news.
And that's why here at Falcon Weekly, we focus on the stories that you need to hear.
So once a week, tune in for the news that impacts your life and matters to you. From campus events to entertainment and health updates to the latest national and world news, Falcon Weekly is your one-stop shop for information.
And you can always find information from us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Falcon Weekly. Find your news here.
Hi, I'm Alex Tejada. I'm back with player of the game, Christy Bohan. 19 kills on the day, dominant first two sets. Bobcats made it a little tough going down the stretch. What was behind the resurgence in the fourth set?
We just wanted to play hard. This is actually the first game this season that we've won in 4, and so we really wanted to make that statement that that was possible.
Back-to-back games this weekend. What does it mean getting off to a win as far as Peach Belt Conference?
Great. That means that we can all go to dinner and have a nice time and relax and get our feet back under us for tomorrow, too.
Yeah, about the games in quick succession, how do y'all recover after a grueling contest like today?
This actually feels great. This is also the first weekend where we're not playing 2 matches a day, so we're really in shape right now and just rearing to go.
Y'all have also won a lot of close contests in 5 sets. This team just seems to be a very resilient bunch. Anything behind that?
Definitely coaching, keeping us calm when we need to be calm and excited when we need to be up. Just hitting those at the right moments makes all the difference.
Your skill set has just improved, and you seem, a lot more diverse going forward and defending. What have you worked on in the offseason to make your game so much better?
I tend to be a really aggressive player, so I actually worked on have that volleyball IQ and seeing when the best time is to tip and when the best time is to get that boom and kill, because it's easy to just take all the glory on those, but a tip sometimes is the easiest and the smartest way.
A dominant partnership between you and Hannah Christie. How was that formed? Is that something that's been a couple years in the making?
Yes. We've been working on that this whole time pretty much. You always want to have a good connection with your setters or else nothing runs smoothly, and she's doing a great job too.
Thanks, Christy, and fantastic game.
Thanks. I know.
Fantastic game. Started off with 2 sets. They got back in it, but a great comeback in the fourth. What put that third set behind y'all?
I think Georgia College came out swinging, and they were definitely hot. We weren't passing the best either, but when someone's hitting 400, they're going to win that set.
What does it mean to you getting a huge victory in back-to-back Peach Belt doubleheader to open the season?
That would be great. Great start. We could carry into next weekend, but, I mean, we can't enjoy this too long, we turn around and play in less than 24 hours.
A lot of rotation between subs on starting and defense. Is that something that will continue through the year, or just trying to find a lineup?
I do think we have a lot of depth, and they challenge each other in practice, so it could continue to go on, but at the same time, I hope it settles out. I do not want to run out of subs.
Yeah. Great partnership forming between Bohan and Christie. Is that something you've been watching in practice for a long time, and it's just now coming to fruition? They've had a fantastic start.
I feel like communication and working out little things, sometimes you discover what hitters like, but they can't verbally tell you, and then Hannah's really zoning in on that.
Last 2 points were a kill and a block by Brioni Dixon. What does it mean having so much depth on this team to have freshmen that can come in and finish the game for you?
Freshman team are adding, like I said, they challenge in practice, and when they can step up in practice, that's really exciting, and just to know that they're going to continue to get better. The future is really bright for the Falcons.
All right, thank you, and good luck for the game tomorrow.
Thank you.